Okay, so thank you for joining me today. I'm going to be showing you how to run a count in Countrunner. That will allow you to extract business contact data and send campaigns to it. And it should take me less than 15 minutes to show you this. My name is Duncan, and I'm a director here at Email Movers. We've got a database of between 650, 700,000 records. That's UK records. We've got access to over 50 million records around the UK. But for the purposes of this video, I'm going to show you how to run the UK count only. All you need to do is come to Countrunner, a little bit about the name. So a count is what we refer to as a query on a database. So technically speaking, we build the queries using location as a filter, maybe job title, annual revenue, industry. And when we've done that, we normally come up with a volume of data. And internally in the business, we refer to that as a count. So that's why it's called Countrunner, because this software actually allows clients to run their own counts. So all I need to do is go to countrunner.com and then click on Run Account. Once I've done that, I don't already have an account, which I don't. You can click on Create New Login. All you need to do then is put your company name in. So I'm going to put in Email Movers. That's going to allow me to pre-populate. I'm going to put in some details like this. So 97526, my telephone number, job title, director. And if I scroll down here, then it's going to ask me for my email address. So I'm going to just put Duncan plus test at emailmovers.com. I'm just putting that plus test just in case I don't have, or if I already have an account. And then I'm going to put in a password. And then I'm going to click register. If you can hear a lot of background noise, it's because I'm recording in an open office. And as soon as I start recording, they suddenly start shouting over there. I'm just going to add that to LastPass so it remembers that. You can see here that I've now come to a page which allows me to select B2B as a button over here. So I've registered. Now I can click on B2B. That whole process takes less than a couple of minutes. Okay, so once I've done that, you can see that the first selection that I can do is going to be geographical. So this is location-based, and I can either select by drive distance, region, postcode, town, or county. So I'm looking at records here. So let's say that I wanted to do a specific start location. Well, my postcode is YO18. And then let's say that I wanted to do 10, or it's not going to be very many records, but let's say 30 miles of YO13. If I then click Find, it's going to show me the postcode territories within 30 miles of YO18. And that is that's a really powerful feature, because actually the way in which postcodes work is sometimes illogical. So there's a lot of work that's gone in just to make that available. So I'm just going to increase that. If we're going to stick with that, I'm just going to click on 60 miles of YO18, click Find. That's given me quite a nice little area. So if I wanted to then move on a little bit, so I'm going to go to, I could also do by region, by postcode, town, county, and so on. I'm just going to leave it on that, and then I'm going to click on Next Selection. And what this will allow me to do now is move from geographical filter through to a filter based on job role and industry and turnover band. So it's granular information about the company itself. And this is going to be in bands. So I've got SIC. If you've not heard of SIC before, that is standard industry classifications, which is registered or which is created by Companies House. Now you can see here, it took a moment to do that because it's worked out the volumes of data that I've got available for each job title. I'm going to just, for the purposes of this test, select Senior Decision Maker. Now that is a director, managing director, finance director within the company. It's the people with senior job titles. We've also got things like marketing management, and let's see what else we've got. We've got sales management there. I'm going to select that as well. So you can see here that I've got a few different job titles selected. Now I could click on Next Selection, which would take me to tags, which I'm not going to do because I'm just going to go first of all to SIC selection. And what this is going to allow me to do is it's going to, as I said before, it's going to run those little counts. So it takes a little bit of time to do it because it's running the counts as it's actually filtering the data for you. But what the SIC will allow me to do is look at actual industry. Now, if you know anything about email marketing, B2B, you'll be very specific on your industries. You'll know which industries are responsive, and you'll know, therefore, which industries you'll be wanting to target. So I'm going to be looking somewhere down here for professional, scientific, and technical activities. If I expand that button, you can see here I've got a breakdown of the costs. I've got a breakdown of the counts within these areas. So let's say that I want to do advertising and market research. If I open that one, you can see that I've got 100 agencies. So that's 100 agencies within 60 miles of YO18 with the senior decision maker, the sales, and the marketing manager's job titles. And it's got 100 within those. So let's say that that's all I wanted. So I've just selected that one. I could, of course, select the whole thing. If I selected advertising and market research, that would give me 135 records. You can see I've got 100 plus 17 plus 18, which is 135. If I selected this category here, it would give me all 1,209 records. But for now, I'm just going to run a very niche email campaign to these 100 senior decision makers, marketing execs, and sales execs within these advertising agencies. Now, this is not 100 unique advertising agencies. This is actually 100 contacts within those agencies. So there may only be 8 agencies, but you've got, or there could only be 10 agencies, and you've got 10 contacts in each. So it's important to bear that in mind. If you've got any questions at all whilst you're doing this, you can give us a call on 0845226718 and we'll be able to help you with that. So you can see here that I've now got my 100, and now I'm going to click on Next Selection. And if I click on Next Selection, it will actually take me through to some interesting tags. These tags here, for instance, allow me to see whether or not those companies have got an e-commerce website, whether or not they use Sage, whether or not they're in the FTSE 100, FTSE 250, and so on and so on. There's all sorts of different tags available, and we do run more tags, or we do process tags all the time. We add tags to Countrunner. So if you've got a tag, now there are also some tags that we don't actually put on there. So if you do want some data, and it is specific, you can always come to us and we can check to see whether or not we've got the tag in the background. So a really good example would be companies that use MailChimp. Well, we do have that information, but we don't put it on Countrunner as a tag, but we can apply it if we do it manually. So all you need to do is come to us and ask us for that. Other examples are companies that have got other tags that we might have are companies that are running plugins such as WordPress plugins, things like that. There's all sorts of stuff that we can get. So you can see that I've now run my actual query. I've put the filters together for my query. Now I need to just click on Run Account. And that will look at those records and it will start to give me information about the order process. So I'm only, 3 or 4 minutes into this, and I've been talking whilst I've been doing it. But you're likely to see that those 100 records could be chosen and downloaded within about 15 minutes. Now, there is something that's quite interesting here, is that pre-GDPR, we used to allow clients to register an account and download data and purchase that data all online. But since GDPR, we've taken a slightly different tack. Not all companies have done this, but we have. And that is that you need to get into contact with us before you can actually download the data. So you can run your account, you can do all of what I've shown you, but before you make your first order, you do actually have to be in contact with us so we know who is buying the data. We can do a little bit of verification on you. One of those things that we might do is check that you are registered with the ICO. It's very simple to do. It's only, I think, about £25. But then we know that the data is going to a responsible company. So you can see here that I've now done that. I've got 100 records, which I knew was what I'm going to get. I've got a little bit of a breakdown here. I can either go back to my selection criteria to change it, or I can continue to save the count. So I click that, I can put a count name, and I'm just going to type in here 60 miles of YO18, and I'm going to put YO18, And then I'm going to put here senior decision makers within agencies 60 miles from YO18 for our agency campaign, or let me say agency intro campaign. So let's say that I'm introducing my products and services to agencies just to say hi, we're here, if there's anything that you need, let us know. This will give me a bit of information about what I've used the data for, and then click Save Count. And once I've done that, I'll be able to actually download the data by just clicking here. Now, because I've just created this account, I can't do that yet. If I were to do that, so if I were to click on Download Files, then what this would do is it would take me through to a screen that shows me what is actually going on. However, round the back, an email will come through to me, and that email will ask me to get in touch. And once I've got in touch, I will be able to validate my account. Now, one of the things that is quite good about this is that once I have validated my account, I can do this without having to talk to anybody at all. So you only have to validate the account once, yeah? If I want to click on quoted information, that will actually put me straight into contact with one of the account managers at Email Movers. And we've also got a few other buttons. If I click on this button, which I have done, that will come through to my email address. If I view data count, this will restore the data count and view edit your selection criteria, which means that I can go back to my selection criteria, change that, and make any other amendments that I need to. So that was quite a short video, shows you how to run account on Email Movers. The pricing, in order for you to understand the pricing, you need to get in contact with us. So at the moment that you create your account with us and validate it, we will give you the pricing. And then any data that you download from there or that you purchase from Countrunner will be set at that price. Any questions? 0845 226 7181. You can also come to our website, www.emailmovers.com, and you can use the live chat, and you can also use the web form to talk to us. Now, everybody that does register does get their own dedicated account manager, so that is somebody who will be able to help you with all of these counts, and they will be able to guide you through any of the work that you're doing with us. Until then, or until you get into contact with us, I thank you for watching this video. And on that point, I would like to also say that we are on Twitter at emailmovers.com, and we're on LinkedIn. You can find us there. Our company page is Email Movers. Okay, thanks a lot for joining us, and have a great day. Okay, bye.